Of great importance, I, Kenneth Lamar Smith, suffix II, was temporarily seeking shelter at the Echo Suites hotel establishment in Sterling, Virginia. And I much prefer to do that as opposed to many another thing, as I'm homeless and lacking home and housing. And I was then when I was staying there months prior. They charged my dad, and my parents have been purchasing my hotel accommodations on my behalf because I do not have enough money or currency, and I've been unfairly denied and prevented from working. I've been denied employment, what may you. And yes, I've been actively seeking employment, every employment opportunity. Oh, we regretfully inform you that we're moving on with the next candidate, or something of the variety. Yeah, it's just something to say that, no, we're not going to allow you to work. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much just trying to get around saying that. Pretty much. So at the Echo Suites hotel establishment, my parents, and otherwise my dad, Kenneth Lamar Smith, or Kenneth Smith on his credit card, it says, was charged $250 in regards to a bed sheet that I had wiped hot Cheeto dust on. It's like it sounds. Yeah, you're eating snack food. Oh, you wipe your hand. Yeah, that. They charged him $250. And they said it was in regards to a new bed sheet or bedspread or something of the variety. Those hotel sheets, no, $250 would probably buy enough in regards to half of a floor of that hotel establishment, or a full floor, who knows. The point being that the quality of those bed sheets in that hotel establishment is not $250 per bed sheet. It is not some kind of cashmere or rare cotton or something of the variety. It's a hotel bed sheet at a lower end hotel establishment, mind you. Yeah, cheap, as many would say. Correctly. Yeah, $250 in regards to a bed sheet? No. And why do I mention that? Oh, and it was against my enjoyment and want. It's not a game. It's not a joke. You're charging my parents money in regards to nothing. Yeah, making an effort to sabotage my parents' finances against my enjoyment and want and theirs? Absolutely not. And I mention that as there's been an example recent time just this morning when employees or otherwise staff of a hotel establishment and extended stay in Sterling, Virginia on Waterview 20166 Sterling, Virginia. Yeah, they falsely accused me of harassing the staff or employees there. Said I was using foul language or something of the variety and I was harassing them. They did not notify the sheriff's department or the police department, what may you, the law enforcement agencies respective to the geography. They notified no one, showing a distinct lack of urgency or what may you, in particular in the form of them calling my dad instead. That they decided to call my parents instead, provided the greater detail, in fact, that he is the one that is purchasing the hotel accommodations and not myself. I'm Kenneth Lamar Smith, suffix II. He is simply Kenneth Lamar Smith. Kenneth Smith on his debit card. On my debit card, it says Kenneth Smith II. Not my full name in a legal sense. Suspicious that I cannot, fit my full birth name on my credit card, my debit card. So if I had a credit card, would it work? Or would some groups and individuals against my enjoyment and want just make an effort to sabotage my credit as well? Yeah, I guess a great debit card ain't so stupid, huh? Good for me. Whew. Good for me, man. Pretty much.
Wait.
Yeah, being terrorized. Yeah, pure harassment and terrorizing. My parents' finances are not that strong. They're not rich. They are not monetarily wealthy, what may you. $250 is a lot of money, especially in regards to a cheap hotel sheet that merely has some Cheeto dust on it, that they probably went on and cleaned and, lined or otherwise made another bed with. They continue to use them as a point. near about absolutely guarantee that they did. They charged my parents hundreds of dollars in regards to a bed sheet that was not damaged, and then went on to use it anyway. Against my enjoyment and want and reason and lawfulness.
Wait.
So what I'm doing now, I'm just building a case. I encourage other malign demographics in the geography to do the same.
Benedict. Walk sign is on the cross.
Yeah, so this is on Benedict Drive. Also, there's a hospital in Leesburg on Benedict Drive. So yeah, if you want to seek medical attention or something, yeah, go to Benedict Drive, man. Yeah, you want to stay at a hotel and not be, freezing to death and freezing temperatures in the winter season. Yeah, you can go to Benedict Drive in Sterling, Virginia, man. Yeah, get a hotel accommodation on Benedict Drive, man. Are you a traitor? No, I'm not a Ku Klux Klan member. No, I'm not a traitor. Fuck off about it. Figuratively, mind you. Yeah, the whole thing. You need a translator? Hop on Google Translate with it, man. You like to chat the GPT? I don't. Yeah, let it figure it out for you, dumbass. Pretty much. Do you watch NASCAR? How was the Cup Series? How was this past Cup Series? Was it pretty good? What that jackass wearing the number 5 do? He's still saying the N-word, or are you pleading for forgiveness? Bubba Wallace finding any more nooses hanging in the garage? It's a question. It's a quality inquiry. They gave him a 23, huh? And they're doing that. Interesting. Winston selects the Reds, please and thank you. No, regular, white and red box. I'm purchasing a pack of smokes. And anyone that's, somewhat curious or something of the variety, I only walk long distances to the nearby convenience shops and grocery shops and similar in prior time, because I did not have personal transportation and because I was too poor to afford a carton all at once, so I bought them individually. Receipt? Anyway, moving onwards. In other news, I'm not a gorilla or a monkey. Eat a banana about it. Also of importance, a Nadine Pastebrook shop many years time ago left a receipt in regards to a New York location, McDonald's establishment, a restaurant. Yeah, in my bedroom, and then said that they had no idea where it came from. And if not, they were implying that someone broke and entering into my parents' home. Yeah, against my enjoyment and want, and that of my parents and their knowledge and otherwise awareness. And what provides or otherwise supports that sentiment, evinces it what may you. There is a hateful and aggressive and abusive towards me restaurant manager by the name of Rafael Castro many years ago. He was managing an Expectations location in Leesburg, Virginia, in the Wegmans Shopping Plaza, and he suggested that I move to Vermont. And he said it in a sassy and clandestine way. He said, yeah, you can move to Vermont. Yeah, you can leave your doors open on your house. People, they won't break into your house. So yeah, if you want to break into houses, fuck off, pretty much. Oh yeah, I'm not Carlos, huh? Yeah, he got deported. He broke into someone's house. He was also poor, huh? Is that just a thing? They just keep certain demographics, or maybe even smaller than that, demographics of demographics? Yeah, just artificially poor, just in an effort to make him commit crime of some variety out of necessity. It's a quality inquiry, considering my past and prior experiences. I got a 23, man. What do you think? I'm Michael Jordan? I'm not. Of note, of great importance. You see it? I saw it. Good for me. Of great importance. Oh yeah. So it's not so much that I'm a fan of Michael Jordan. Yeah, kind of in the regard that he had a lot of skill, seemingly, allegedly, the whole thing. I read an article, or otherwise it was an interview that he held with some publication, and he said something to the effect of that he practiced basketball near about 10 hours a day, per day, day to day, something of the variety. And I found that inspiring because I wanted to play guitar at a high level, electric guitar, mind you. You get high level of refinement in regards to musicianship and what made you. So I took it upon myself to, make an effort to do similar, and I did. It was similar. It wasn't 10 hours a day in a literal sense. Though I did begin working long hours in an excruciating sense, in a painful sense, when I was working with Uber Technologies as an Uber Eats delivery driver, not an Uber driver. I wasn't harassing women either. Get away from me with it. And I was working long hours so I could save up in regards to my own apartment, my own automobile, and my own musical equipment and instruments to my preference, the ones that I actually wanted, as many would say. Yeah, and my bank account with Northwest Federal Credit Union had thousands of dollars stolen from it. It did. Yeah, you're suspicious to me, young person. You're walking too close behind me. Yeah, I've been jailed unfairly and unreasonable in multiple instances prior time. Yeah, it makes me highly uncomfortable. Yeah, not an issue, huh? Yeah. What? Yeah, also I'm not a pedophile. Despite someone who I was incarcerated with, a James or a Jimmy or something of the variety. I'm uncertain of his last name. And he was falsely accused to what he's telling me. He was charged with a rape of a young woman. He told the other inmates otherwise. He said that she falsely accused him and an actual rape did not happen. He said that he just simply kissed her in the vehicle, or they made out or something, and she had a camera and she used that as some kind of it was murky. It was questionable, though the whole thing was questionable, provided the other greater details that are somewhat escaping me in the moment. Though, yeah, the main takeaway for me, it was all questionable. Though, he also went on, there's another inmate by the name of a Drake. That was probably his nickname or something of the variety, or just a fake alias altogether, who knows. It's jail, man. That's why I do not enjoy it there. Yeah, so he called himself Drake. And Jimmy was talking to Drake, that Jimmy. He wasn't James Epplin Jr., mind you. I'm not 6'9". And Drake made the proposition, or what may you, to kill or otherwise silence the young woman who was falsely accusing Jimmy of rape, or James of rape, or what may you, or in actuality accusing him of rape and it did happen, or what may you. So James, what may you, wrote a letter as a hit or something of the variety. He's like, yeah, here's her personal information, take her out or something of the variety. Yeah, I'm not a joker, huh? Yeah, it is not a joke. So that happened, and then I want to say they had a massive shakedown. Someone probably made a tip to one of the officers inside of the jail or something of the variety. Then shook down the cell block. They stole a lot of the personal items of the inmates. A lot of inmates had written down the numbers of their family members that they could call while they were incarcerated in jail. A lot of them had those missing from their tablets, their notebooks in the jail, so they had no means of communicating with their family or friends. Many of them just gave up on it. Said, man, I can't talk to my family anymore. This is crazy. That and James, what made, was removed from the cell block, and he was put in an isolation block. And yeah, not too much known after that. And later, another inmate, Yuri Martin, said that he heard Jimmy in the from isolation or whatever as he was walking by. He was just screaming that he didn't do it. Yeah, he wouldn't hurt her, and they're all falsely accusing him, or what may. Which doesn't sound that unreasonable to me, considering how the extent to which I've been falsely accused or otherwise provided false testimony against. or otherwise, how many have bore false witness against me in numerous instances. So it's highly probable. And a greater detail of that was the young woman who falsely accused Jimmy of the rape, or James, or correctly accused him, what may, was a Catholic. He was also a Catholic. They went to Catholic church. They were Catholics. I'm not, man. I was forcefully incarcerated with him, unfairly, mind you. Jail, what may you? Yeah, it's not my friend or my family, man. I don't know what he did. Get him away from me. Yeah, also, yeah, jalapeno hot Cheetos in there because it was probably the most flavorful thing on the on the menu in jail. Yeah, that's why I stopped eating them. And then when I did begin eating them, because I was in pain. Prior time, mind you. Yeah, it's because I was in pain. It wasn't out of a sentimental thing. I just began to feel like I was still in jail because I was being harassed and abused by complete strangers against my enjoyment and want. Again. Unfairly, mind you. Well. Oh, also of importance, there was an inmate there named Evan. He self-ascribed or presented himself as being Jewish or a Jew. And he was in there in regards to a manslaughter charge. Why was it a manslaughter charge? I'm unaware. Because it was a murder. Or at least, it was a murder, pretty much. Yeah, to put it lightly and politely. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, he shot a cab driver in the head in New York City or something of the variety. And yeah, he was in there in Fairfax County Jail and charged with manslaughter due to him having a good, reputable lawyer or something of the variety. And he ultimately was sentenced to 10 years in prison. I want to say, or was it 12 years in prison? It was 10 or 12 years in prison. It was something of the variety. It was something that disturbed me. Because he told the other inmates in graphic detail that, he shot, he was then he said it was a traumatic response from being a military veteran or something of the variety. Yeah, and he shot a taxi driver in the head. Yeah, with a handgun, a firearm, what may you? Yeah, not my enjoyment or want, and highly suspicious to me. So yeah, also something to take into consideration, me, whatever biases and prejudices are at play, I'm prefacing the following with, a young black man who is homeless, African Negro, what may you, in the northernmost part of the state of Virginia, thefted a small amount of goods from Walmart in regards to not starving to death, pretty much. I had no other resources, no friends. My parents were not helping me financially, unfairly, mind you, the whole thing. So, and be mindful that all of those goods, what may you, were returned to that Walmart location promptly. It's like it sounds. I walked out of the store with them, was, accosted, what may you, and those goods were promptly returned. There was no crime. Some would say they did not leave the premises, which is true in a legal sense. So, there was no crime. And I was jailed most of this past summer season in regards to that. So, that is, whatever, man. So, comparing that, so some Jewish white young man, American from wherever, shot a taxi driver in the head and was sentenced to pretty much 10 years in prison. Pretty much. Me and another not so didn't have a lot of foresight. What made another teenage acquaintance of mine from prior time pretended a bag like this is a plastic bag from a Target grocery shop, so something of the variety, so something like that, full of a girlfriend of his clothes, what may you, and pretended it was a pound of marijuana. And the depth and complexity of the crime, or what may you, that we were involved in was, just pretend it's a pound of weed. And when we get the money and cash, we'll just run away. That's it. 12 months, jail time and 8 years suspended sentence. So if I had another felony, they would have sent me straight to a federal prison or otherwise state prison. He shot someone in the head with a firearm and killed him. 10 years. Pretty much. Because he had money in regards to a lawyer, huh? Me, my family did not have money in regards to a proper lawyer because they are, somewhat impoverished and continue to be, despite their poor financial decisions, in particular in regards to purchasing newer make and model BMWs when they're somewhat outside of their living means. More than somewhat, I'm being polite about it. Yeah. Yeah, highly unfair, huh? Yeah, it is. And if I had had a proper lawyer, I would have been able to, completely transcend jail time. Fairly, though, mind you. Yeah, I didn't need to go to jail. Yeah, probably probation a year or something of the variety. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, jail time and that, no. Yeah, especially taking into the consideration the greater detail. I was in there with an actual murderer. And murderers and gang members. I was forced into a gang unit. So I was residing or otherwise imprisoned with literal gang members a year's time. Highly unfair. An example? Yeah, man, we just pretend it's weed and then we'll give it to him, and then if he gives us money, we'll just run away. Put him in a gang. Gang members don't do that, man. For lack of better phrasing. Yeah, is that street to someone? Is not. Sounds like something of what some kids from the suburbs would do. That's what happened. I'm Kenneth Lamar Smith, Suffix II.